Now, of course, once I actually have everythh cut the way I want, I'm going to take apart the deploy, line everything up, and finally do it all. That's nice and stuff. But so far, now I just have the second half of the shell with the stuff. Just found another little bit to trim for the sake of not looking stupid. And I believe I've just lost the captain of Kirby. Never mind, I found it. Alright, so this is what I have for the trigger guard left now. This is more or less just because I feel the deploy should have had a trigger guard, but it didn't because of how it was. This is literally just making a kind of, in my opinion, perfect deploy type thing. Sharpie, where did I put you? Right there.
So always give yourself a ton of slack, because you can always go back, trim off more. Oh.
So now I'm going to start tracing the stuff from one half of the shell onto the other. So that way I have the lines already put over. Now what I'm doing more or less now is I'm just kind of giving myself the rough guidelines so that way I can base it off of that.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, the hardest part of integration is what you think. That is, it's not the cutting, it's not the planning, it's what you start to think over the course of it, because this is something you're making, you want it to be as good as you can get it. And that idea only makes it harder, because you're starting to hold it to a super high standard. My solution to that is, my solution is I give myself a ton of slack. Everyone has their own kind of solution to that issue. Because I'm guaranteeing there's someone out there whose solution is, well, I'm just not going to do it. And, yeah, there's nothing too wrong with that, but it's like you're just limiting yourself at that point.
So now I got these nice and even, I'm going to sand them later.
Now I'm going to move on to the cowl. Or the shroud, or whatever it is. Oh, and another decent tip here. Always keep bits that are decently sized. Like these bits, you could totally reform them into a grip if you wanted to, just because of how they look. They look very nice as a grip, so you could use them as a grip if you just, you know, reform them a bit. Alright. Alright, so I got both parts of the shroud. So far, pretty good. Doesn't look like I'm going to have to do too much to do much fixing or anything. So, I'm going to go see how these fit on the deploy. Alright, so now I've come into the issue of these are blocking what I want to do properly, so I'm cutting them off.
Always kind of have a Sharpie or something around to mark where you want to cut. It just makes it very, very easy to make it painfully obvious if you drop it that one day and you go to pick it up next. It just makes it so painfully obvious, hey, I need to cut that. If you really want to make it obvious, just fill that area with Sharpie, just like that. Alright, so that's what that is now. Alright, gotta go test that again. Alright, I need to do a bit more trimming to get it to sit flush. So that's what I'm gonna do. What I'm doing currently is I'm just going back and constantly checking, just to make sure I'm cutting enough away, so that way it can work.
Do remember, this is the earlier stage of this integration. The early stages of every integration is very rough looking. It's all about refining it afterwards. Alright, so this now fits nice and good, so now I'm going to do that to this side. One thing you do have to realize about integrations, you do have to find two shells that look like they go good together, and sometimes you'll find, hey, these shells actually don't look too good mixed together, and you might want to stop, but always keep going. Stubbornness is the key to most things. Doesn't tear away past. This is the cultural day. It's always okay to cut more than necessary. While it's harder to put back material, you can always cut a little more inwards, or, you know, a little more in on the, like, you can cut a little more on this side to give yourself more material to work with. Wouldn't recommend it too much, but if you need to, you can. I forgot how good the music video was. We've come from the past. Alright, so I finished all the cutting I need to do, and now my workstation is a complete and utter mess. But now I can take apart the deploy and start the integration and attacking it. That's as simple as I'm just going to...